Fantastic. You wake. Your eyes are hard to open and you feel drowsy. Before you can see the faint flicker of a candle in the distance, you smell a deep, damp stink linger in the air. You're in a cell, alone, but not for long. You go flying down the first flight of stairs. The basket goes upside down, you smash against the wall, and you land in a heap at the bottom of that flight. Take a d4 of damage.
Oh, this doesn't bode well, does it?
No, not really, to be honest. You recollect that these green glowing balls, you've seen them before, and they seem to be some sort of communication device.
I was going to say, just shove it straight into my backpack.
Okay.
Because if I know some kind of communication tool, it could be quite useful.
Okay.
I don't remember any of these in my textbooks back at
You went to school?
Paladin school, obviously.
Now, from general knowledge, one such as myself would know that under this here rug is a secret passage, and I rip away the rug with the Meggy on it.
Okay, so Gartov yanks the rug away to try and reveal a passageway. Deimos's feet go from beneath him, but he manages to go into a backwards roll, which he is able to... he doesn't immediately kind of spring out of it gymnastic style, but he is able to then stand up from quite easily. Do a perception check, Mike.
Don't mind if I do.
I've drawn my rapier.
I am paying no attention to you. There is a secret passage here. 19. That's 18 for me because I get -1.
Okay.
18.
So you see all 0 secret passages.
I look up at Deimos and go, I was sure there'd be one there.
With my rapier drawn and pointing at him, I scowl.
I just give him a smile and walk past slowly to the stairs.
So... For the players
and
the YouTube viewers watching, the Twitch chat is just every time I mention something like rug or orb or book, they're like, "Take the book, steal the orb, take the cup, take the rug, take the log." Somebody earlier said, "Steal the gnome."
I did steal the gnome as soon as he fell out of the basket.
They're just a bunch
Why
of
do you think
thieves.
I'm here?
They really are just a bunch of thieves. Eamon sticks his head in through the door and he says, "Are you fellas finished here? Or shall we leave because the sun will set before we get back if we're not careful, and you do not want to be in these parts when the sun has set."
Why? What happens in these parts when the sun is set?
People tend to go missing.
Is this all basically the same thing as what I picked up earlier?
Yes, it appears to be the same. Everybody in the room do a perception check. Here we go.
I got 2.
Oh, okay. You got next to it. And also, I'm just going to roll on my desk. I've got a physical D20 here. I do it so that they don't see it.
I want a D20.
Nice and easy and quick for me to roll. So, Euperia, Tidmouth, and Meggy. Out the corner of your eye, you notice a face in the orb for just a second.
Did any of you see the face in that green ball?
You saw the face as well?
Yeah.
Are you two on something?
Deimos has left the building.
I've followed him. It's fun to mess with Deimos. I'll stay close.
Okay, so our adventurers exit the room and go down the staircase, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, and you come... Let me just make sure I'm revealing the right area. Yeah. There we go. You come down to what appears to be another floor.
Oh, how many floors are in this place?
Guys, look! Barrels! Booze!
There could possibly be booze.
I roll a perception check to see what we've got in our surroundings.
Okay.
Oh, poor. I don't see anything but stone.
I'm going to do the same thing, so I'm behind him and I do exactly the same thing. Perceptione.
So the Twitch chat is currently saying, take all the barrels. They're sticking true to form. And they're also saying, drink all the booze.
I'm going to do a perception check on these barrels.
Okay, so what?
Wow, we're not doing very well.
We're not doing very well. We've got some 9s and a 4.
The barrel was too tall. You cannot reach to look inside.
Okay, I've left play. I've gone out.
I would like to inspect all the barrels.
Okay. Do one roll for inspecting all of them.
Maybe
I'm
you'll do
just
better
looking
than
for an
you
empty one.
So Demos is outside now, so he's dead. No, I'm kidding, not really.
Yeah, so I'm just going to run around smashing all the lids off the barrels until I find an empty one.
Okay. The first barrel you go to doesn't have a lid and it's empty.
Okay, I pick it up. It's coming with me.
Okay.
Twitch viewers, I'm on your side.
Anybody else doing anything here? I presume Eamon walks through you all whilst you're inspecting the barrels and stuff, and exits following Demos.
No,
I'm going to turn around and be like, Gartholomew, get in.
Do I have to?
It's called a surprise attack. If there's any enemies, they won't see you jumping out the barrel.
Well, I suppose I could leap out onto their face or something. I don't know.
Sounds
if you
good.
play the loot inside the barrel, it might amplify it as a speaker.
It'd be like
Nice
a
thing
musical box. Just put the barrel somewhere. Just I'm playing music inside. And go over to inspection, then you just jump out of them.
There's a Gartholomew in the box. Da, 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 da. Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, inside the barrel.
So, get in,
Yeah.
Gartholomew. Let's go have some fun.
Do you get in? Okay, right. So everybody is now outside and dead. No, I jest. They're not dead. Let's zoom out a little bit so you can see a little bit more of the map of how it was, and the viewers at home can see how much they explored and how much they didn't, and what they missed. They can't. So what we're going to do now is we're going to describe what happened next. So you leave through an open door. You stand alongside Eamon, and you can see the sun has moved slightly in the sky from when you were at the top of the tower, and you see an open area with a pathway leading from this doorway, and it kind of bends round and sweeps up and disappears round the corner off towards the northern direction where you saw it from the top of.
If we take the path, they'll be expecting that.
Wait a minute. I turn to the elderly chap. Does this path take us to the closest village town?
Yes, we need to follow this path and head back.
And did you come from this town village?
Yes, it's where I set off from this morning.
Now I question this. You say we've been kidnapped by a tribe of horrible orcs, and we've been locked up in a fancy tower, which orcs clearly didn't build, and then we're leaving with no one stopping us.
Yes.
I'm a bit curious at this point, Eamon, as to exactly who you are and what you're doing.
Well, like I said, and I have been hunting. However, this is probably not the best time to talk about this because, like you say, there was nobody in the tower. We are actually more than likely surrounded. The orcs are known for hiding nearby, rather than actually sitting with their prey, which is why you were just locked inside that tower.
So you've more or less come to commit suicide with us. Well, that's very lovely of you. Let's go down that path.
If our good friend here, Meng Lao, is correct, then they are indeed waiting for us in the tree line to the north.
Then they shall meet us. I draw my sword and shield.
And as you make your way down the path, you all notice something.
Ah, what is that I have noticed?
Apart from Tidmouth, everybody's passive perception gets this.
I notice the graves, and I approach them.
Well, to be honest, mate, I'd be more worried about what I was just talking about. The two figures that stand in your way.
I don't see any figures.
I'm trying to find some now. At the other end of the path. I can't find any orcs.
So they're orcs.
Well, that's awkward.
I don't like it, Tidmouth.
Tid, you need to come with me because I'm walking towards those orcs.
No, go back. We're in initiative. Well, we will be doing. Because this is a combat.
How do we know they're enemies?
Because
How...
we are in not necessarily a combat situation, but you're in a situation. So at this point, we need to go into initiative. Your first move might be wander over and say, "Hello, how are you doing today?"
Okay, so I'm going to step forward.
Just because we go into initiative, you have to do an attack. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to step forward.
No, you don't.
And I'm going to
initiative.
Well, who's first then? Is it whoever's got the highest?
So
you roll initiative. Okay. So this is our initiative order. So we're going to just rearrange you so that we go 22, 12, sorry, 14, 12, 10, 4, 3. Okay, so the first person up is our...
have you rolled for the orcs initiatives?
Yes, it's there. Demios, is it? Demos. It's Demos' turn.
Oh. Right. So I'm going to take a step forward.
Okay.
And I'm going to draw my rapier. And I'm going to say in my most... let's have a look. Have I got intimidation? I'm going to use deception again.
It's you either do intimidate. Is there intimidate still? There isn't, is there?
Hellish.
Yep.
Orc is with a C. That's probably why you couldn't find any images.
Oh, okie dokie. That's fine. Carry on.
Okay, so I want to use deception to try and trick the orcs into thinking that we have. I want to tell a fib. Can I roll deception?
Yes, roll it.
Out of the way, greenskins. We're on an important quest from the Skullblood clan of the north.
So Demos steps forward and slurs at the orcs, demanding that they get out of his way.
You also used an orcish slur when one of your party is an orc, you racist fool.
Quiet, you.
I am very tempted to throw this here barrel at you, I'll be honest.
Throw the bat button. One of the orcs lifts his bow and fires an arrow at him. It hits. I wasn't expecting that to kill you. I mean, do damage to you. So early.
Can Hellish, can you roll the dice on screen? Not that we don't trust you, but I just think it's kind of like so that there's transparency.
I quite like the suspense of seeing the dice rolling and being like, am I going to die?
I know you wouldn't cheat, but it's just transparency. I think it's only fair.
No, DM's allowed to hide dice if they want to.
Allowed to
it's literally dice. Within the rules of D&D.
I will do it in future for things that you're aware of. So if you're aware that he's shooting you, I'll do it for that. So he shot you with a short bow. It's 1d6 piercing. So I'm going to roll the d6.
Just so I can roll it.
No. As I'm acting as the orcs, I roll the damage for that.
Okay.
So you get a 5 damage. Demegi takes an arrow to the chest. And it embeds itself moderately deep. Maybe, I wouldn't say necessarily punctures his lung or anything, but he's got a serious wound there in the middle of his ribs now, as this arrow sticks out of him. The other orc lets fly his arrow, and it goes straight towards Eamon. And let's see what happens. This is the orc attempting to hit Eamon. And misses. And that is the end of their turn. Next on the list, I believe it's our big brute Gartoff.
So I'm going to hold the barrel in front of my exposed skin. And just lazily walk down the path.
Right.
Cursing the stupid demon as I walk. And then I'm just going to carry on walking.
Okay, so what's your base speed?
So it's 30 foot. I
Okay, so
believe.
in a movement in combat, that means you can run up to 30 feet.
6,
But if
which
you're-
is 6 squares.
Yes, but if you're walking, it's going to be less than that because this is only 6.
Well, yeah.
It's only 6 seconds of movement, so I'd say it's only going to be two or three squares.
What if I use both my actions to do it? Does that count?
If you use both your actions and you're walking, I'll let you go 4 squares this time.
Okay.
Because
fine.
we're estimating the movement on that sort of thing. So, yeah, there we go. And of course, our barreled gnome has to be in there with you. Okay.
What's he doing, guys? I can't see.
Shut up, little gnome, if you want to live.
Next up, it's Eamon, who does a running movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to here. And then he raises bow and arrow, which he had readied as he was walking out of the tower, and fires it at one of the orcs. Okay, so he rolls a 19. The arrow lets fly from his bow, whistles through the air, and hits the orc right in the head. For... Let's see. Looking for that one there. I thought so. Let's see what it does damage in his head.
1. Nice. Don't forget to add
He was
modifiers.
wearing a
though.
helmet.
So, yeah, it doesn't do a lot of damage. It hit him.
Don't forget your dex modifier on that.
Yeah. It hit him for 3 damage, which is not quite enough, I don't think. So the arrow flies through the air, hits the orc in the head, but the pretty simple helmet which he is wearing manages to take a lot of the power out of the arrow shot, and it doesn't do a lot of damage. He gets a good fat poke and cut in the head. And that is the end of Eamon's turn. So next up, it's our little gnome.
Well, there isn't a massive amount that I could do. Really.
Play the loot. Play the loot inside the barrel.
That is exactly what you should do.
Battle loot. Battle loot.
Battle loot.
It will inspire us.
Yeah, fine. I'll play the loot. I presume I'd roll for performance.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right to me. Okay,
I've got an 11.
so you got an 11 on performance. Okay, so as because of course you've moved in the barrel, haven't you? So you're in a different position. So as Gartoff marches down and starts going towards these orcs, one of which has got an arrow in his head now, this barrel which he's holding out in front of him starts emitting this looting music.
See, I'm a Mexican gnome now.
Oh, where's the drums come from? Did Meggy just get them out?
I'm patting on the barrel. I like it.
It now comes round to Lao-Meng's turn.
Right, after realising, seeing Deimos taking a shot. What, did it hit his chest?
Yes.
Wherever did it hurt?
He didn't say anything. He just stood there, just took it like a boss.
Come straight.
Inside, he was squealing like a little girl.
With my hand, I can touch Deimos and expend 5 heal points back into his chest, basically.
Oh, Benny. Oh.
Okay, so you move up to him to do that, I presume.
Yeah, no, I'm right next to him anyway.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
It's my ability to lay on hands. I've expended it all into him.
Okay.
Can you mainly for the viewers? Can you choose to do a certain amount, or how does that work? Basically.
Yes, I can. I have my current level times 5 points of healing power, and I can use any amount of points I want, or I can expend a total of 5 points to remove a disease or a poison.
Okay.
So as he lost 5, I've expended my maximum healing power.
This is a magic thing, isn't it?
This is just basic magic that the paladin
So
gets.
does that bring up your to full hit points?
It does. Yeah,
Right,
thank
okay.
you.
So as you do that, the arrow pops out of your chest, and the wound heals up. Only a small. What kind of clothing have you got there?
It's leather armor, so I've definitely got leather armor. Do I
Okay.
have fine clothes? I don't know if I do
Well,
or
it
not.
doesn't matter if it's underneath it. So you have a small slit in your leather armor now, and there was a bit of blood around it. The blood's still there, but the wound underneath has healed.
Cool.
Right, yeah. I also then suggest for him to stand behind me while we proceed up towards the enemies, so I can defend shots against him.
Okay.
30
What do you say to
feet. I said for him to stand behind me while I can block shots. How much is 30 feet? Is that 4 or 5 squares? How do you do that
square is 5.
It's 5. 5 each square, so it's 6 for 30.
How much can you move, Devegi?
My movement is. I don't appear to have speed filled in on my character sheet.
I think it's default 30.
I forgot my speed,
Okay,
but
so
if you go into your race, it says there.
It's 30.
You
Yeah,
can see
it's
30 here.
Yeah.
Can you see
Base walking speed.
what I'm measuring?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, so I don't know which direction you're going.
I was going to go in this direction.
Okay, there you go.
Is that difficult terrain here?
No, it's not difficult terrain. It's just little bits of shrubbery.
So I've asked him if he would follow or not is up to him. So
yeah, I'm with you.
Well, you can't. It's not your turn. Go back.
As I say,
we're in initiative
wait.
still.
It is his turn though, because Lanx moved and used an action.
Now it's your turn, Dimos. What do you do? You move. Okay, that's your movement.
Yep.
Do you want to do an action?
Yes, I am going to. Do acrobatics count? Can you combine acrobatics with movement, or can you just sacrifice? Can you use acrobatics for movement? So, like, can I do a load of Power Ranger cartwheels?
It depends why you're doing the acrobatics. If you're doing cartwheels to move along forward, you would go normal movement, but you'd have to do an acrobatics check to perform the cartwheels as you go.
No, in that case, no. In that case, let me just double check my.
You can jump, I do believe.
No.
I'm going to play my deck of illusions.
Okay.
So, full deck is 34 cards. So the deck of illusions works by, what is it, a D20? Whatever I roll represents whatever.
Yeah, what you draw.
Okay. D20.
Okay,
D20.
so Demos reaches into his pocket and pulls out a pack of cards. He reaches into those pack of cards and pulls out an
Archmage and Mage Apprentice. So I pull out a King of Diamonds.
Okay.
Which makes an Archmage and Mage Apprentice appear in front of us.
Okay. Fair enough. Right. Well done. So
that's completely normal.
So we're just going to say that they're in front of Demos for now.
Grab them and use them as human shields.
Yeah, grab them and use them.
Yeah, you just grab hold of them.
Don't touch them. No. Okay. Don't touch them.
No, it's not a deck of many things. It's a deck of illusions, which is a lot less worse. He did want a deck of many things. I told him not. Right, okay, so now that is the end of your turn, Demos. It is now the Orc's turn. So one of the Orcs turns, sees these new foes in front of him, and he fires a newly readied arrow at them. And... here we go. He hits it. However, of course, that goes straight through it. Now, as it's directly in front of Demos, Demos, high or low? High or low?
What do you mean?
Just choose one.
Just choose.
Low.